What is up, everybody? Welcome to PS Best Friends, the only PlayStation podcast by the community, for the community. We come to you each and every Tuesday with a brand new episode filled with greatness beyond the ordinary. I'm your host, Jeffrey Mizrahi, and today we have the Wampum Boy, Anthony Palm. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just playing some this new fucking Futurama Tapper game that I always need some bullshit addiction game. It used to be Wiz Khalifa's Weed Farm. Before that, Simpsons Tapped Out.
I have a soccer manager simulator that I play on my phone too.
I fucking hate myself.
I used to do like Boom Beach and fucking Clash of Clans and what was it, Plunder Pirates, and I had to delete all of them. I can't deal with it.
It's a disease. And to his left, we have Miguel. Miguel, how you doing today, brother?
Doing good, man.
Awesome. And like always on PS Best Friends, every week we have a new community guest member from the PlayStation community. This week we have Tyler Cook. Tyler, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. So yeah, Tyler was a big fan of our first few episodes. Been listening since, and we wanted to have him ever since the first episode, and finally here he is. So let's just get right into it. What y'all been playing this week? Anything fun? Anything new?
You want to start, Len?
Well, I've been replaying Wolfenstein. Getting ready for
the new
Wolfenstein
order.
2. Yep. Also, the Evil Within, because I'm a big Evil Within fan.
Everyone is on this Wolfenstein jump right now and like, oh, Wolfenstein was so good. And they did the same thing back in 2015 when Wolfenstein came out. But and that like it came out of nowhere and it's like, oh, Wolfenstein's a surprisingly good game. I'm going on record, and you can even check my tweets, check everything. I was riding high on the New Order, specifically the hype train, way before once it was originally announced, because Machine Games had some people that did Syndicate and a bunch of other shooters, and I'm like, whoa, this game has promise. This game's gonna be amazing. Weeks before it came out, and when it came out. Then after it came out, people were like, whoa, sleeper hit Wolfenstein. I'm like, what? No, this is not true at all. Why was no one else paying attention? But amazing game.
I actually played the DLC first.
Ooh, interesting.
Old Blood.
Yeah, which I think the DLC is actually a lot better than the main game.
I haven't played either. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like at this point, Evil Within as well. I feel like I'd rather just wait and play the new ones for both.
Nah, Wolfenstein, the first one is so good. Like it's so worth playing right now.
But I just watched some like gameplay of it, and it just looks like old game is old. You know.
Well, I think too because it's so story based.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look up like a synopsis for that. It wouldn't be the first game I did that for. Evil Within is the one I really wanted to play, and I tried playing it, and I just I wasn't feeling it. I don't know, something about maybe the controls or. It just felt kind of, I don't know. I feel like I wanted it to be Resident Evil, and it was too much of its own thing, which I guess is credit to itself, but it just wasn't what I wanted at the time. So,
Tyler, you thought the Old Blood's story, or why do you think it was better than one? Like the gameplay, or?
I like the gameplay better.
Yeah, speaking of zombies in the Old Blood, the rest of us pretty much been riding high since last week's episode. Really, we all jumped on Killing Floor 2. It's last month's actually. By the time you're listening to this, it's probably gone. Surprisingly fucking amazing. If you're into Call of Duty Zombies, even if you're not, if you're into Left 4 Dead, it's a great blend between Left 4 Dead and Call of Duty Zombies. Would you guys say?
Yeah, definitely. I really, I'm having a lot of fun with it. When we first played it together last week. We might have played it like the day after we recorded, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And Miguel was like, you guys should try it. And then I was like, fuck it, let's give it a shot. And I feel like at first when you, like while we were playing, you were kind of like, it's okay. And I was like, I like this a lot. And then the next morning, I was like, guys, I really want to play this game.
I remember Jeffrey saying like, I really don't like it. And then he's probably the one that has played the most.
Yeah, I was originally mad at it because it was that night you guys were like, yo, you want to play Call of Duty Zombies or Killing Floor? And then I haven't played Zombies in a while. So I'm like, ooh, I really do want to play Zombies. So like while we were playing Killing Floor, I was just thinking about Zombies. But then after I got my Zombies fix out of the way, then we jumped back into Killing Floor. And I'm like, wow, this is really fun. It's much more arcadey than Zombies. And there's a much more like detailed progression system.
Well, that, and you also run like you do set waves, so it's 4, 7, or what,
Yeah.
9 or 10 waves. So there's a feeling of like I beat that, or you know what I mean. Like there's a completion aspect to it, whereas Call of Duty Zombies, it just goes until you die.
It's much
So
more
sometimes
finite,
yeah, exactly. You can just go for forever in Call of Duty Zombies, whereas Killing Floor, it's like, oh, we killed that boss. You guys want to go for another run?
Yep. And a cool similarity that I noticed after playing a bit, it does. So you start up the game. There's no intro cutscene. There's nothing really explaining anything to you, which is very cool, very zombies-like as well. And also it has environmental storytelling and tells a lot about what's going on in the game through its maps alone. Very much like Zombies does. Like just by moving between the crash site and like the, I forgot what they're called, but like the area where like the contamination zone or something, and like you could see about like what's going on around you, like like what the story behind this outbreak is and stuff. And I don't know, I find it really cool.
Yeah, there's also collectibles in each level too that Miguel and I kind of realized by accident because some dude we match made with was just running around the map collecting them, and then
Yeah.
we got a trophy pop like randomly, and then I checked it and it was for the collectibles. So
Yeah, very cool. And other big new release this week is Crash Insane Trilogy. I haven't gotten around to playing it yet because GameFly shipped it too late. But how about you guys? Crash.
I've been playing it. My wife's actually playing it right now, and unless she switched to Destiny, I don't know. But yeah, we've both been playing Crash. It's a wonderful remaster. It is so good. Visually, it looks gorgeous, but they kept the gameplay exactly the same, for better or for worse. I mean, it's good because it shows you how hard games were. It's not even that it's hard; it's just that it's like it's clunky, but you can tell it's because of the limitations of what games kind of could do back then.
Mhm.
So it's like while you're playing it, it's like this is brutal. Like I missed this tiny little step of a hitbox to land on, but then it's, you know what I mean. Like it's frustrating, but it also is like a fresh reminder of like where
So
games came from back.
So the
in the PS1.
gameplay is similar.
The gameplay is identical. I mean, it's maybe a little bit tighter, but for the most part, it's
Have they changed the camera? How it works?
no. Everything is. I mean, as far as I can tell, everything's pretty identical to what it was. They just upres it.
Plan on picking it up eventually.
Yeah, it's already discounted at $40. So
Well,
I thought it came out at
Hey,
40.
yeah, I'm saying,
$40.
I'm saying like a discounted game, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
It's like how Ratchet and Clank came out at a price point.
They should release. Sony should be like PlayStation should be releasing them under some sort of line, you know, because Knack 2 is also gonna be at $40, and Ratchet's like some, I guess, like family friendly line. I don't know if they really need to do that, but
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because then you start to get into like, well, is it a value game? Is it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so.
Um,
They don't need to do it. The game's selling like crazy, so which we'll get into later. But they don't even need to do anything with that.
yeah, let's get into that in the what is and forever will be Mori Riders Apart.
Time for some news.
How many items do we have?
We got 7 items on the list this week.
No. We got a baker's dozen.
We're probably gonna need to change that at some point now that they're doing that again on the
Yeah.
games.
We got to brainstorm some ideas. For the past few weeks, if you eagle-eared listeners have been noticing, we kind of just say the number and stick to it, and don't lie about a baker's dozen.
Yeah, we do need to come up with something new. If you guys have any suggestions listening, for what we can do for this now that Games Daily brought the Roper report back, because I don't really want to get yelled at for ripping it off while they are still doing it.
Well, now,
Community
that,
podcast.
now they do the turkey noise, so you can keep doing the news noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a community
there you go.
podcast. Remember, if you want to send in an idea for what we should, any goofs we should do as well. I don't really know how that works, but that'd be an interesting thing. Send in your own goofs to bring into a podcast. That'd be funny.
So number 1 on the list, July's list of PlayStation Plus free games has been revealed. Until Dawn, and Game of Thrones: A Telltale Game Series for PS4, Tokyo Jungle and Darkstalkers Resurrection for PlayStation 3, Element 41 and Don't Die, Mr. Robot for PS Vita with cross-buy on PS4. Until Dawn is amazing. If you haven't played it yet, absolutely download that. Do not miss out on that. Game of Thrones, I never beat it. It's all right. I mean, it's free. Easy platinum.
Well, Until Dawn is obviously the winner.
Until Dawn, of course, is the highlight. Weird throwing it in July. I feel like that'd be a fun game to put in October's PS Plus, but
Like September leading into October.
yeah, that'd be a good as well.
Well, the next game by Supermassive, isn't it coming out in like August or September?
Unsure. You might be. They have 3 games.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah, was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have the 2 that are similar to Until Dawn, and then one of them's like the prequel.
Are they also doing Hidden Agenda?
I think they're behind it, but that's the PlayLink game,
It's
right?
a PlayLink game, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I have something to say about that later. But we'll go into that. And then Tokyo Jungle, for those people still on a PS3 with a Plus membership, yeah. Or I guess if you still have your PS3 plugged in, I don't know. Tokyo Jungle, a very fun game. Really enjoyed it. My only gripe with it is that it wasn't easy enough to unlock some of the funner animals, that you really were stuck with the lower level animals for like a long time, unless like you did a lot of grinding and like really played the game for a while. But even with the lower level animals, very fun game.
All right, number 2 on the list, Eurogamer reports that Sony has quickly pulled the indie game titled 5-star 1,000 top rated from the PSN and has asked the developer to change the game's name and remove any mention of trophies. The Platinum Trophy reportedly could have been earned in 20 minutes, as it only consisted of easy interactive tile puzzles made out of 4K wallpapers. Additionally, the game was priced at just 98 cents on sale from its regular price tag of $3.99. Now, this did, in the description of the game, also almost brag about how it was the PlayStation's fastest
One of
trophy,
the
right?
fastest, yeah.
Fastest platinum.
Yeah. So it got pulled down because of that.
Yeah, I think so. Someone had tweeted at Sean Layden, right,
Yep.
about that, and then when he had replied, he
It's
was
just
just
a
like,
fixed-
"It's fixed."
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably more than just one person, because if Sean Layden picked it up. But
I'm sure that's not the first time he had heard about that,
yeah,
but that's probably his excuse to kind of get it out there without doing a blog post.
this either it shows one of 2 things, besides it's like the other systemic problems of the PSN store, that someone just didn't read the description or didn't even fucking see this game and gave it a pass, or the people who are doing that did read it but literally don't know like what is it, like they don't have a book or a checklist to see like what games can make it in, like the guy who's checking the games doesn't really understand trophies that well, and like, oh, are you allowed to say trophies in the description? I don't know, that's never been done before, let's push it out. So both of those are bad things, like neither situation should have been happening. Yeah, what?
Or there's someone in charge of that and they just hired and they're like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. And they pushed it through. That's how it seems like it is, pretty much. Because you could say this game, there's energy cycle. It's similar to it. You could get the platinum in like at around 20-25 minutes. You got Mr. Masagi. It's around 20 minutes to get it to. There's a bunch of games that you could get the platinum like in less than 30 minutes. Because I was lucky enough to buy that game. I bought a 5-star 1,000
you
top
got it.
rated. Yeah, and I got Mr. Masagi. And I planned both of the games in like 45 minutes with a guide.
Yeah, I think I was grinding away at Titanfall 2, which I platinum this past week,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like busting my ass for that platinum, and then you're like, guys, I did something, and then you show me 3 cheapo platinums.
Yeah, that's funny how you shared those.
Hey.
Makes you wonder if other developers will take notice and actually see that they can get their platinum in a game.
Oh,
What's up, so?
I bet. Oh no, I thought you meant take notice and like try doing this.
Well, I mean, if
shit where they
you
put
can
their-
get a platinum in a game like this, then you should be able to get a platinum in any game.
Oh, it makes no sense. But you see, I was finding games back in the day, in like early PS3 era, when like these Dora the Explorer and Hannah Montana games were like easy platinums, but like that wasn't what the games were. They weren't being advertised as easy platinums. And that was just like a byproduct of them being like stupid spin-off games. I think PlayStation has to make a stance like soon on what the fuck is happening with the store. I think they should have came out and made a stance back when Colin did his Colin Was Right video on curation of the PSN store. They gotta do something.
Are they gonna go back to what they said when on the PS4 launched, that the console is gonna be open to any developer that wants to put a game in the store.
I don't know. Look at all to see why that's a bad thing. Just look at like first just watch Colin's video or just like look at Jim Sterling's videos where he just picks shitty games on Steam and just like they're pure trash. They don't.
I mean, I know it's been almost maybe even a year removed. I still can't get over Life of Black Tiger. It's like you can't even move straight in that game.
They should have some type of system that they're actually checking the games and checking that the game is working and performing well on the system.
That's supposedly what CERT is. Like
supposedly,
what
but
happened?
they're not doing it.
Clearly not. Clearly
Something-
not.
It doesn't make any
Going
sense
back
how games like Walking Dead Season 2 or Firewatch don't have platinums. Or like Gone Home. You know what I mean? Like we've talked to this to death. You know, I mean, I don't want to get too much more into
even-
that, but I mean, it's getting ridiculous. We need to do something. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
there's a way of getting the community, just the PlayStation community as a whole, around this issue and trying to beat it into Sean Layden's head that like trophies matter. But I don't know.
This story's kind
I
of
don't know
like
how to go about it.
the climax, like
No.
the apex of this issue, and like
It's like it's finally boiling over.
this should be like the catalyst, I think. But yep.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Just last thing, because like that argument could be made. Like people like Miguel want to buy it, want to get these things. So like, should it be allowed for them? Up to debate. But yeah, let's move on.
All right, next on the list. The director of the original Shadow of the Colossus, Fumito Ueda, submitted a proposal with ideas for changes to the upcoming remake of his PS2 beloved classic. He discussed the upcoming PS4 remake in an interview with Eurogamer via translator. Quote, I transmitted my petition about the content and tuning, but I don't know the implementation will be what I told, unquote, he explained. The translator then clarified, adding, quote, it's he who wants to change something, but he doesn't know if it is possible to change all of the things he wants to change, unquote. Ueda refrained from detailing what those suggestions were, noting that if I say one thing and in the final version that thing is not included, it's a problem. That's, oh man, translators. So that's cool. He's basically saying, like, this is what I would prefer you guys fix in it, but it's not up to me.
I wonder if he actually wants to change like the story on the game.
Nah, I think it means just like maybe some features that he didn't get to put in, or maybe the new classes, of course.
Yeah, he confirmed that there's only going to be the 16 that were in the original game.
Oh,
think
he
that the-
confirmed there's not going to be that extra classes. Really?
Yeah, they said that's the story, and they're not changing the story, which pretty much confirms it's going to be kind of like what they did with the Crash reboot,
Interesting.
along the lines of something like that.
I think the big thing was just the controls that people wanted changed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The controls got me to stop halfway through. I to this day I don't understand why people love it as much as they do, but whatever.
I mean, the controls for The Last Guardian kept me away from that too. So it's odd that those games are such relics. I mean, Last Guardian was a chance to fix that old kind of way of making games with that studio, and they just didn't do it. I don't know. So I'm hoping. I missed out on Shadow of the Colossus and Eco back in the day. Not that I'm expecting an Eco remaster, but I had a friend that I was close to in high school, and he loved Shadow of the Colossus. I just never got around to it. So as long as this game does not shit the bed and the controls are decent, I'm probably gonna give it a try this time around.
Taylor, did you play Shadow Classes ever?
I played it, and I think I only beat like the first Colossus.
You played on PS2 or 3?
PS2.
Why did you stop
Just the controls.
the controls?
Oh, really? You thought the controls were an issue back in the day?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was just real wonky. It felt like how it played.
So can you guys try and explain what the controls are? Because I've never actually played the game.
So it has that Last Guardian overall feel to it. It's pretty much Last Guardian, where and like so how
Like
you
triangle is to jump.
triangle is definitely a jump, and how you traverse the colossi, which is like part of it, part of like the gameplay, is that when like you jump on, you have to hold I think R1 or maybe a button to like clamp on to like grip the body of the colossus, and then like you have to like jump while holding that, and like so you're it's just very like your hands are very clumsy on the controller, I guess would be some way to describe it. That like you're holding like multiple buttons down to like do simple maneuvers.
They need to rearrange the buttons first of all.
Well, I thought you had to grip and
Just-
then let go of the grip when you jump and then grip back on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Because
awful.
they had moments where it would try to shake you off, so you could be trying to jump, and
Yeah.
if he would be shaking, it wouldn't let you grab on.
Yeah. So like if you jump and he's shaking, and then like it'd be harder to grip back on. So like when he starts shaking, you have to like be gripping on, and like that then like you're kind of hunkering down. It's interesting. I definitely think it's interesting, but I don't think it's pleasant in any way, and like a gratifying. No, yeah, it is gratifying in a It's a word. I don't know. I can't think of.
I know what you're saying. Like it's
It's not smooth, I guess you'd say.
I mean, I'm hoping they fix it because I like the idea of the game.
The idea is really cool. The idea is what made me get the collection on PS3. But
well, it sounds like that's really the only issue is the controls. So hopefully they can fix that. But we will report back if we hear anything new on that.
Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be news about that coming out because why would they not want to announce the biggest feature that people had like an issue with if they are going to fix it? So
Just hopefully not 10 years later.
BioWare and EA have denied the claims of a company saying Mass Effect Andromeda single-player DLC was canceled. However, more recent reports suggest that, despite this false claim, there is no single-player DLC planned for the game. Sinclair Networks, the supposed developers of the DLC, had posted saying that due to EA reportedly putting Mass Effect on hiatus, the publisher has decided not to waste any further resources on the new content for Andromeda. Instead, the focus is supposedly now only on developing Anthem, BioWare's upcoming latest RPG recently shown at E3.
see, this is a weird story. You could definitely find more info if this interests you at over at Kotaku. Jason Schreier is the one who broke the article. Funny story about that. People are like sending him death threats and like shitting on him over on some like BioWare forums because they're like,
Yeah.
why is
Go-
Jason writing bad about BioWare? This is why Mass Effect doesn't get. I was like, you crazy fans.
I mean, he gets it all the time, so
I know he's just reporting
he's
whatever.
probably used to it already.
But yes, this story is so weird because it's like rumored DLC was being made by a studio, then BioWare said they had no idea. So BioWare also says, yeah, I don't think we wrote it, but that they never even like we never worked with Sinclair or something. I don't know. Of course, there's 100% some lying somewhere here.
I mean, it's a AAA game. I'm sure they plan for some type of DLC.
Yeah, and I saw an interesting tweet also saying that like it's a real shame because DLC and sequels are really when new IPs or new games get to shine. This, of course, isn't a new IP, but this is like a new trilogy, so to speak. Like this would be like a new, you could call it like Andromeda 1, I guess. So it kind of sucks that it doesn't get to flesh out its world and story.
It sucks for the studio if they were actually working on it because they're out of work. But to be honest, I'm okay with Andromeda just ending where it is, just making
Oh yeah,
it one
yeah.
shot.
If there was no DLC at all, then this is not really much of a story. But it sucks that that
Yeah,
work
I'm
was
just
canceled.
ready for it to
Hypothetical.
just be considered a one shot, one off, whatever. Not a spin off because it's obviously part of the Mass Effect canon, but I'm ready for them to just say the next Mass Effect is not going to be an Andromeda sequel. That's all they have to say, and the next one will be fine. At least
mean,
how it's looked at when it's announced. If they do that,
They don't need to say anything. It just comes out and it's gonna be Mass Effect something, and that's it. And it's not gonna be for probably like 5-6 years from now.
well, I said on an earlier podcast, my issue was that it didn't feel like the heart of the game to me didn't feel like Mass Effect. It felt like fan fiction. So
Yeah.
You're
For
talking
me
about the
personally,
story or the gameplay?
the story, the gameplay was fine. The gameplay just felt like an evolved version of Mass Effect 3's. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it getting more action oriented. I know there's a lot of people that say Mass Effect 1 was the best because of how the gameplay felt more like an RPG than a pure shooter.
That's like almost
Which doesn't
so
really
bad.
make sense to me because the combat, I thought it was kind of rough. But
Gameplay-wise, yeah.
but yeah, no, it was the story and the characters felt like a fan wrote it, you know, like, and I don't mean any offense by that, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was written by Drew Karpyshyn, who is working on BioWare's new game.
So what hurt it the most Was it the story or the bugs?
For me personally, it was probably the story and the characters more than the bug. I didn't really see that many bugs and animation glitches. I saw a little bit with Ryder's face specifically, but it didn't bother me too much. It's just the game wasn't pulling me in the way I wanted it to.
That's interesting because I'd say for me it was more the gameplay shooting me off. Because even with Mass Effect 2, I remember was my first one. It didn't really suck me in until like 10 or 15 hours in. No, well, yeah, 10 or 15 hours in. Which is pretty much around where I stopped.
Once you did the first collector battle on Horizon.
Yeah. Like once you really started getting shit done, and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm into like the beginning. Like I don't really care about the overall. Like,
see, I love that Omega was one of the first worlds you go to in that game. I just love Mass Effect 2. I'm so totally biased for Mass Effect 2. I beat that game like 8 times.
Yeah. And just a last thing on this. I know we're probably gonna talk about Mass Effect in the future, but I feel like Mass Andromeda shouldn't have happened. And it should have just been Anthem, you know? Like, I don't think we need another Mass Effect besides EA just trying to get more money on using the same name, you know?
Well, what I think is that Andromeda could have been its own game. Just take Mass Effect off and call it something.
That as well.
Something Because I feel like the only thing that tied it to Mass Effect was the fact that they were wearing N7 armor and there was Krogans and Solarians. You know what I mean? They didn't use the mass relays. Like, that was one of my biggest issues with the game, is that the thing with Mass Effect 1 through 3 is that they used the mass relays to get everywhere. The title of the game is Mass Effect because of when they discovered the mass relays, and there were no mass relays in the game. So it sounds dumb, but to me that was kind of a big thing of like, what makes this a Mass Effect game? What about this is a Mass Effect game outside of the fact that it's a third-person action shooter, and I have biotics and I'm wearing an N7 armor? Next on the list, Boss Key Productions has partnered with Limited Run Games to release Lawbreakers physically, confirming that in addition to the $40 US standard physical version, a $70 collector's edition will also be available for PS4. I feel like we've talked a lot about Limited Run Games lately. They're doing a really good job.
Yeah, I love Limited Run. Anyone here play any Lawbreakers or what's it called? Or on the beta or the PC or PS4? No? Anyone?
I'm planning to play it when it comes officially comes out, but no, I haven't tried it.
Tyler, no?
No, it's not really my type of game.
So, definitely after last episode, I jumped in for a couple matches on the PC beta, because it was earlier than the PS4, whatever. Mm-hmm. I was expecting everyone to be like Farah, so I was expecting an Overwatch clone, whatever. I'm down for that. I played a lot of Overwatch. I could play another similar Overwatch game. I was expecting everything to be anti-gravity, and like maybe I would have like cool traversal, jumping and shit. Everyone has jetpacks, but I guess I just thought of the game differently. It's only some areas have that anti-grav part, so and it really didn't add as much as I thought it would to the gameplay, which I guess is kind of a shame. Still though, like I'd say maybe like around 40% of the map is even less. Like 35% of the map is anti-grav. The rest is regular. So like running around on the regular gravity areas is fun still, but just I don't know. It didn't separate itself as much as I thought it would from Overwatch.
But do you think that is just the map you were playing on, or do you think there's other maps
that could be very possible as well? I played 2 different maps.
That map could be maybe balanced for just straight out not PvP, like TDM or whatever, and maybe there's other maps that support different game modes that so
that could be wholly true.
Another thing, it's a beta, so how much can you really extrapolate from a beta?
Yeah. I'm just saying my first impressions. I think a PS4.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying.
I think PS4 beta is going on now, so if you're listening to this, get on top of that.
When is the open beta? I know the closed beta is going on now.
Think it's
if there even is an open beta.
I think it might be now. I don't know. Check up on Lawbreakers website. I have a key, and all I did was just give them my email on their website. So
it is now on PC, and it is a closed beta on PS4.
Okay, yeah, but I think you can get the key if you just sign up. But we'll get back to you on that next week probably.
Next on the list, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy has launched in the UK to incredible sales. It is the biggest single-platform release of the year so far, beating Horizon Zero Dawn.
Just to make clear that this only covers the physical sales, not
and also UK, so Oi Governor and all that.
Why are you hating, bro?
Governor. This is July 4th. All right, we left. Get out of here. But yeah, no, it's good to hear.
Sorry, non-American listeners.
I also saw not Kotick, whatever, another Activision guy, saying it was awesome to see a lot of passion and support for this game, and so like expect more or something. He said something that's pretty much like, all right, this is a good sign for old remakes, possibly CTR, possibly Spyro. We'll see.
Does Activision have the license for Spyro?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Yeah, because Spyro is Skylanders, right?
Yeah.
The first run of
Yeah.
Skylanders. Was
People
like
are
featuring
making the
Spyro.
joke, Skylanders, Crash, and shit like that. Crash's Adventure. They already did that, but whatever.
It's a crossover. It's happening.
Yeah, they already no, but like if they do what they did to Spyro, if they did what they do with Spyro, what they did with Crash, with some toy to life thing, that's completely off brand. That'd be a little whack, but they might because they see people liking Crash, whatever.
I'm pretty
I just
sure
I was always more of a Spyro guy than a Crash guy, so I just even if they only give me Spyro 1, I'm fine with it. I would obviously like all three, but Spyro 1 was my favorite.
Tyler, Spyro or Crash?
I probably played more Spyro, like at friends' houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably get it now. I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting Crash to do as well as it has. I'm pretty sure it was mostly something like, okay, the hardcore fans have been asking for this, so we're actually going to release it, and then, I think it surprised them.
The thing is, I bet they thought that, but I think they highly underestimated that the people who are like the annual Madden or FIFA and Call of Duty guys, are saying like, all right, they're not gonna. So it's not Horizon. This beat out Horizon as best single platform because I feel like that fan base isn't gonna buy Horizon, but they see a $40 Crash remaster and it's in fucking 4K and all that shit. They're gonna pick this up, So I think that's what contributed to the sales. And then last thing on the list, one of my personal favorite times of the year, SGDQ Summer Games Done Quick 2017. Pretty much it's just it's a week-long event. It started Sunday and ending July 9th, so get on top of it if you're listening to this before July 9th. You pretty much just week-long speed runs by the best of the best at the individual games. They play a lot of retro games, new games, old games. All donations go to Doctors Without Borders. Right now, as it's recording, they're at 200,000. And normally they go above 1 million every year. It's a great cause. Definitely watch it. It's also really fun just watching, even if you don't even know what game they're playing and never even heard of it or played it before. It's cool just seeing like this whole community and like the intricacies and like how these people like messed with these games to get like these speedruns done. It's like you could just see a platform they never played or seen before, and like how he's describing. He's like, oh, all right, how I'm gonna get past this part is that the game only loads this amount of pixels or whatever, and like if you do this at this point, then you break half the game. It's like, oh, that's really fucking cool. So highly recommend Summer Games Done Quick if you've never watched it. Anyone else fan of that here? Or
I haven't watched it, but more just because I wasn't aware of it. I had heard about it in passing, but I didn't know. So let me know when it's on. It's on right now, you said?
Yep.
When is it going through?
July 9th.
July 9th.
Yeah.
Yep. You said that, and I just read it.
24/7.
So. Yeah, I'll check it out this weekend.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, I think right now they're doing the Sonic block, which is they play a couple Sonic games.
Yeah, they were playing. What's the one they were playing? Sonic Generations. I think they were playing before. I caught that for a second.
I caught I love watching their Metroid Prime stream. It's so cool. So they go they.
Yeah, I would watch that.
100%.
That sounds cool.
They 100. Yeah, it's all in the archives. They 100% Metroid Prime in an hour 40, an hour 30. I love it.
How's that even possible?
You watch it. It's so good.
Jesus.
All right. So let's see games that they won't be speedrunning over at the drop. From our best friend, the powerhouse of PlayStation, Ryan Clements, comes the new releases of the week of July 4th, 2017. We're starting off with Energy Cycle, PS Vita, digital, out 7/7. It seems like another tapper from the developers of Energy Balance, Quick Platinum, so I hear. Ninja Usagimaro, Two Tales of Adventure. Tales is Tails. PS Vita, digital, 7/7. Ooh, yikes. This is a weird Vita game. Save the Ninja Clan, PS4 digital, 7/7. Save the Ninja Clan is a platformer. Talking about speedrunners, the game called Speedrunners, PS4 digital, out 7.5, is a cutthroat multiplayer running game that pits 4 players against each other locally and or offline. Run, jump, swing around, and use devious weapons and pickups to knock opponents off screen.
This is just coming out now.
Yeah.
I thought this was on PC for a while, but
I think it's on PC, and it was. I know it was the Games of Gold on Xbox this month or last month.
maybe first time for PS4. That's You, the first PS4 PlayLink launch title. This is what they showed off at the pre-show at E3, where you use your phone to interact with the game on TV, and like it's like a lot of jack. So this game is set off on a journey of discovery with up to 5 of your friends and family, and find out what you really think about each other. Joining the fun is easy. All you need is your phone or tablet. Snap a selfie and enjoy tons of funny questions, texting games, and drawing challenges. I don't think this is the best game to show off PlayLink. I think Hidden Agenda would have been the better launch title, but this game's pretty much like you get a question on your phone, and it's like draw a picture of this or something, and like you give it to your friend, and then they draw on it, or it's like, what do you think Johnny likes, and then we answer it. So it's cute games. I'm pretty sure it's free. I can't confirm that, but
So is this now? Is there a PlayLink app that you then download the game from, or do you just straight download this
you
game?
download the specific That's You PlayLink app version game onto your phone. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was like a
yeah,
like a
centralized
Steam
copy.
client, but
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you
Definitely.
download a game through a hub.
I think it's an individual game. And then rounding out the list is Toby, The Secret Mind. The Secret Mind, PS4 digital, out 7.6. Go with Toby on an eerie adventure in a dark and creepy world full of dangerous situations, enemies, and challenging puzzles. I love my Toby and his dangerous situation.
Just to say the game is $20.
That's you?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's $20 per person?
Yeah.
No, I assume it's probably $20 on the PS4, and then the app is free.
Oh,
That
okay.
because-
All right.
That would make more sense.
That's a lot of freaking money. You would
yeah,
think that they would have just made like a PlayLink bundle, like how they do
So,
the
okay,
the
I'm
Hasbro
reading-
Game Night bundles or like the Jackbox bundles.
What does Miguel got?
If
Miguel, you're
if you have PlayStation Plus member until October,
it's free for
you
Plus?
got it for free. Yeah, and if you don't, it's $20.
okay, it's fair enough.
And it has a platinum.
Interesting. I'm
Wonder how
yeah.
to get platinum.
Check if those trophies are live. I'm gonna read about them. But besides that, let's move over to the topic of the episode: toes. So when you're listening to this, most likely near or during July 4th, Independence Day, if you're from America. If you're not, I don't know what you guys call it. Maybe you guys call it 4/7 in your backwards numbering system. But let's just talk about some patriotic games, give some shout outs. So I was looking up some online, trying to get some ideas. Of course, Assassin's Creed 3 takes place, Independence, all that, 1700s.
Wait,
What do you got? What do
Okay.
you got? Fact check it, squad.
keep going. Read the next one.
Oh yeah, a very American pastime, farming simulator.
How is that a pet?
Only on 4th of July do we fall.
Only only on 4th of July does one farm. That's what
on the
Independence Day was about. The English didn't let us farm, and now we get to farm. Yeah, so I don't know. I saw that on some like July 4th video game list. I'm like, all right, let me add that. Saints Row 4, of course, playing as a president. That's always fun. Call of Duty games, very America, very oorah. I think. What do you think is the most American Call of Duty game?
Ooh, probably.
Good question.
Probably Modern Warfare.
I'd say Black Ops.
Black Ops?
Okay.
If you think about it, they're all Americans, and I mean, Black Ops. It's
It's Mason the
Fucking-
whole time. That's a good
it's
point.
Mason. What's the other guy's name? The one that looks
Number
like Snake.
season.
Hudson
Hudson
was the
Glasses.
Hudson died in Black Ops 2, right? Spoilers for a 10-year-old game.
Why are you spoiling the game, dude?
Wow. Now I can't play it.
No, but what's the main guy that looks like Snake?
Alex
Fucking
Mason.
Frank
is-
Woods. Frank Woods.
Oh, Frank Woods. Yes.
He was my boy. When he fucking came back in Black Ops 2, it was so awesome.
When he
I'm so
busted
mad
out,
Black
yeah.
Ops 3 wasn't part of the Black Ops. Like, it was technically part of it, but it didn't have anything really to do with it.
Stupid. Tyler, what about you? What do you think? You play Call of Duty or not really?
A little bit. I haven't played recently. I mean, the last one I played was Black Ops 3.
Yeah, it's a good place to stop, probably.
The
I think
new
World at
the new Call of Duty might be the most American one coming up.
Is it though?
Oh, World
I
War
mean,
II.
I guess
Oh,
if
World War
you, if
II,
you
dude.
play as that American faction, but
I thought it's only American. I thought you're only
You
playing
will.
as that American squad. No?
that's what I'm saying. Like
But
other
you're not
World War
playing-
II games have been outside of Americans, so I forgot that
Yeah,
Call of Duty World War II is centered around an American squad.
yeah. World at War's Japanese campaign was pretty American, I think. I don't know.
Fucking brutal as shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, horrific. I hope
Flames everywhere.
World War II take some lessons from the World at War's Japanese shit. Then America's Army, as American game as you're gonna fucking get. The only video game published and developed by the U.S. Army.
I know, that's so funny. I totally forgot about that game until we brought it up last week
That's like, yeah.
from whatever that game on the drop. But did you ever check out that America's Army game that was on the drop last
Fucking
week?
didn't. I actually didn't.
We gotta
I got-
check it out later.
we gotta check it out, yeah.
later.
I'll-
The
I'll
next
add
game
it.
though is totally
If you
like
haven't-
115% American. Oh my god, this
So-
was a free PS Plus game, right? The next
free
one.
PS Plus game, and I didn't play it until way after I already downloaded it. Bro, fucking
it's so
force.
It's so dumb,
good.
but it's
No, you get some of your friends and play that game couch co-op. That is an awesome game. It's like the most like tongue in cheek like oorah American game.
Like 80s action.
it's basically Expendables but 2D side scrolling.
Yeah. Very 80s esque, very very cartoony and all that. A lot of bald eagles, a lot of American flags going around.
I just love that all the characters have bro in their name.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then there's actually chicks also that you get. That does surprise me. Ellen Ripley was in it as well from Alien. Some of the characters though are like unbalanced. Like some of them are like way better than the others, but whatever. Duke Nukem's pretty American. He always has an American flag.
Character is
What?
not the game. The character.
Yeah.
is
No,
not
the
game.
character. Yeah, the character is. Sadly, they suck. Have you guys liked any of the Duke Nukems?
No. I never could. Well, growing up, I had a friend that loved Duke Nukem because of how like he liked it because of what it is. Like he knew it wasn't supposed to be the greatest game ever. He's just like, yeah, it's basically Doom but bad, but he liked it because of that.
Weird. Yeah, because I even remember they had the whatever Duke Nukem, the good one, I guess the most famous one, whatever, had a remake or something on PS Vita. You guys remember this, or was it PSP or something? And it was free for Plus. So I checked that out.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Red Dead Redemption, not very, yeah, a lot of Americana.
I mean, America is all about revenge, I guess. So
Oh, very
Yeah,
early.
not so
American.
much. Yeah, not so much independence, but very a different side of America, I guess.
how is Wolfenstein American?
Oh my God, BJ. Yeah,
Fighting Nazis.
The character.
But I thought
is-
BJ Blazkowicz was like Polish.
Polish. He is.
I thought-
I don't agree with Wolfenstein, and I don't agree with this next one either. What even is who wrote this one?
Wolfenstein 2 will be very American. Let's
Okay,
get that.
that's fair, but
I
that
got
game's
two-
also not
I
out
got
yet.
two
Who
games
wrote
for you guys.
who wrote Animal Crossing?
Animal
Jeffrey!
Crossing. Yo, dude, since 2006,
How is Animal Crossing an American game?
July 4th.
That's what I said.
July
Well, you
4th,
could
you
go-
go into Animal Crossing.
You
No,
could go fish because it's only American.
The fireworks on July 4th in Animal Crossing. You also get a little hat or something. I forgot. You got some.
So
fucking-
any game that has fireworks and or a 4th of July celebration counts as an American game?
Well, it counts as a July 4th game. All right, this is a broad list we got here. We got,
I don't know. That's a
we
stretch.
got things. We have things
true.
on this list.
We had to
Um,
do
how
what
about-
we could.
How about a game that you're missing here?
Yeah, shit.
GTA 5.
GTA 5. Yes, that is
Pretty much all the GTAs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
say that.
the ultimate satire on American culture.
And one game that cannot get more American:
Hit me.
Madden.
Sports. Yes.
Yeah.
This July 4th, poppin' Madden, poppin' MLB The Show.
Yep.
Get yourself some good old-fashioned American sport fun.
Shout out to before we move on to the next little topic we're doing. Shout out to Watch Dogs 2, just kind of having a commentary on America as it is today. Watch Dogs 1 did a little bit too, but it was kind of ham-fisted because Aiden was just such a mopey character. But in Watch Dogs 2, I really kind of appreciated like the subtle digs it would take at our society right now. and like there was that one mission where you have to basically steal the Wu-Tang album from Martin Shkreli, but it was a made-up artist and a made-up character, but it basically was straight up that. So shout out to Watch Dogs 2 for kind of embracing our culture and kind of making commentary on it without being too in your face about making a commentary on it.
Yeah, it's very similar to GTA in that aspect, but
Yeah, not 4th of July themed, but
no, this is just
You get-
America Coast.
If you're going with Watch Dogs, I could say Mafia 3.
Yeah, true. But now we're kind of just going to games that are in America.
take place in America.
Yeah, take place. Yeah, but this July 4th, if you want to play some
I mean, you mentioned Animal Crossing. Come on.
the
fuck?
fireworks. All right.
The
bet
fishing. Come on, guys.
the fishing as well is amazing.
Well, then you can
And
say
Farming
Stardew Valley.
Simulator.
I bet there are
Farming Simulator.
dozens of listeners right now that are like, "Oh shit, let me bust down Animal Crossing because there will be dank fireworks."
Except for the fact that most of the people listening to this are PlayStation fans, and they probably are saying, "I'm not going to go play Animal Crossing because it's on a stupid console."
Fair enough. I actually made sure. Fuck me because I made sure that this list is only PS4 available games, and then I put
And
out.
then you add Animal Crossing to the end.
Yeah,
You did this to
probably.
yourself.
So yeah, and
No
also
offense to Animal Crossing either. I like Animal
Yeah, no, I
Crossing,
like-
but
I feel that. But on the topic of July 4th usually, not always, usually takes place in the summer. And let's check out some shout outs to some amazing summer.
usually in the summer.
Not always, there's this one year. There was this one year it took place. in
God.
the winter.
Damn it.
I mean, if you live in Australia, I guess it takes place in the winter.
So yeah, I just saw this thread on NeoGAF the other day. Best summer like zones and games, because there's always there's always threads on like winter zones or like games that really like embrace that winter feel, like you play during the winter also, like to like cozy up.
Like I am Setsuna.
Yeah. So just listing off some games I saw in that forum. Sentinel Beach in Jack and Daxter. Any of you guys fans of that area or game? No.
I like the first Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, I don't remember that area specifically. But
Yeah, how do I? Summer season in
You
last-
mentioned it.
Yeah, I was hoping one of the 4 people on a PlayStation podcast would be familiar with.
you're talking about Jack and Daxter.
I
and
just remember
early
collecting a lot of orbs.
I think that beach might have been in PlayStation Battle Royales. No, All Stars, maybe.
Also, that was on sale for like $3 on Vita. I don't know if anyone had it or wanted to pick it up.
I've had it.
Hard pass for me, but
Now, PlayStation Battle Royales are fun. If you have friends and a PlayStation,
that's the thing is I'm gonna buy it to play the CPU. I'm good.
No, yeah, the single player sucks. The Last of Us intro, first few hours in the summer. I actually was just looking up the Wikipedia. The summer lasted way longer than I thought. Like up until you meet, up until a big story moment happens, and up until another big story moment happens. I
Yeah,
don't want
about
to spoil
halfway
it.
through the campaign, right? Because that's I think where I ended. Because I talked in the past how I never finished it.
Yeah,
Because my friend took it back from me because I was borrowing it from him. I think that's right where I left off. Was almost at the end of summer. It's about halfway through the game if it's where I'm thinking of.
yeah. So not the coziest summer in game world to play, but definitely a brutal one. I feel like Anthony, you might know this one. Besaid Island in Final Fantasy X. You aware of it?
Is that where Yuna goes, and then she does the dance on the water?
Probably. I don't know. I just
And they were talking about the
screenshots.
Machina. I don't
and
remember.
that
It's been
game-
again another game that's been so long since I played it. I should replay that. I have it on Vita and I just haven't messed with it.
That game is overall very summery with that water sport, whatever the fuck those kids do.
Oh, fucking Blitzball! Another game
Blitzball.
while we're on the topic of Final Fantasy 15 too. Over by the Golden Key. It's very summery there. Some fishing spots, some fucking wild cats you can give food to, and then they get mad at you because it's not good enough food, so you have to go get them gourmet food. But yeah, Golden Key is definitely like a real summery area in a video game for Final Fantasy 15.
That's just fun. Tyler, you Final Fantasy guy or no?
Not much. I played my first Final Fantasy game was 13.
Sorry.
Were you pleased with that? Yeah.
He said sorry.
I actually enjoyed it. I'm in the minority on that, but
Yeah, I feel like if you're into the quarter type thing. Next up, we got Chrono Cross. Most of that game takes place in summer. I looked at some screenshots. That looks very fun.
I never played Chrono Cross. I didn't even really play Trigger that much, but I had at least played it. But Cross, I never played.
I wish they did a remake of Cross, just so modern day.
Still surprised no Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo Classic, whatever. But
Yeah, that sucks. But what have you? Next up, Friday the 13th. Definitely a summer game. Not giving that sunny summer vibes, but definitely giving the camp summer vibes.
yeah, I could see that.
Well, you're at summer camp.
Yeah.
You play as a bunch of fucking brain dead camp counselors because you'll never get a match as Jason online.
I heard they changed that. Did they not? They made it.
I haven't messed with it, so I don't know, maybe.
Next up, we got Jabberwocky Island from Danganronpa 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
Danganronpa
Danganronpa
fan?
games take place on an island?
Yeah, I'm a Danganronpa. No, the first one takes place in a school.
Yeah, so I'm still on chapter 2 of Danganronpa 2 right now. But the beginning is very sunny until I was actually expecting the whole game to be sunny and all and much more cheap peachier, but that wouldn't really be a Danganronpa vibe because it goes pretty dark pretty fast. But you're still on an island the whole time, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Castaway Cove in Ni no Kuni, pretty much the area I stopped at during the game. Very fun. Very, very, a lot of waterfalls in the area. And overall, awesome game. Anyone else here play Ni no Kuni?
I played a little bit, and then my PS3 died.
Weak.
It's a
Next
shit.
up, yeah, what?
I was just saying it's a shame that they're not bringing that to PS4.
Yeah, we have a interesting question about that coming up soon. Also, Battleship Bay and BioShock Infinite. Ooh,
Yes, I definitely agree with this one. I forgot about this. I don't know how.
Same, actually.
That opening scene where you land in Battleship Bay, and then it's just like everyone dancing and playing music, and Elizabeth makes you dance with her on the pier. That definitely is a summer moment.
Wow, that was such an amazing part of that game that I always forget about. But like when playing, it was like my joy.
Yeah, like it's such a quick part of that game, but it's so like personal almost.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I spent so much time just on that beach. Like it's a really like detailed beach. It's like they really do a lot, like just walking around, going to the cabanas and stuff. Like just looking at like everyone's little beach setup, you know, like they'd have like their own towel and like a sandcastle thing. I really like the detail put into Battleship Bay. A lot of also commentary and racism in there, which was interesting, thrown into a very happy area of the game. I don't really play much of Witcher 3, but I saw a lot of people put this in to Saint and Blood and Wine. And you guys familiar?
Part of the DLC, right? I think.
Yeah. And are you guys familiar with that or not really?
No, I haven't played.
Nah, like I said, Witcher 3 main game was too dense for me to ever get to the expansions.
Agreed.
Same.
I put Flower on here, but I'm now realizing that is kind of more of a spring game, not so much summer, so let's skip that. The Witness, though, does give off... I only played the first few hours of Witness until I felt like an idiot.
It's almost like spring, fall, and summer all in one.
Yeah.
There's like there's certain areas that feel like fall because like the color of the leaves and the trees and stuff. But then there's some areas that feel very springy. Then there's that area early in the game with like the rock formations that definitely gives off like a summer at the beach kind of vibe.
You know, it's interesting when a game could give off that feeling of like heat, you know? That like, oh, this area is hot. But like you're not actually there, you know? It's like you're just like walking around it.
You mean like the microwave chamber from Metal Gear Solid 4?
Hot, yeah. I was confused at that part, honestly. I don't think I understood what was going on.
Come on, it was so cool the way
was
Kojima
awesome,
did
yeah.
the
split screen, yeah.
the split screen, yeah. Same with the Raiden vamp fight, but
Metal Gear Solid
digress.
4, I guess, technically has a summer
I
area.
just want to fucking replay 4. Why can't they just put the whole Legacy collection on PS4?
Can't believe I didn't put this on the list, but of course, Dead Island is a fantastic summer game.
Yeah.
If you're driving to jump back into that, there's a PS4 version, right? Riptide, I think. Is that the
Yeah,
name?
they're both of them are on the PS4.
Yeah. So if you want to jump into that, definitely go into that. And
You
Far
also
Cry 2
have-
and 3,
yep.
rounding out the summer games list. If you want that beach.
Rook
vibe.
Islands.
What?
Rook Islands from Far Cry 3. I love Far Cry 3. I love 4 too, but 3 I really got a soft spot for.
Anthony typed in here Journey, and I'm saying it's more of a fall game in my opinion than.
Yeah, but it's in a desert though.
Oh, the desert gets cold, bro.
At
Yeah,
night.
there's a very cold part of that game.
I know. I don't
It feels
know.
more colder than actually like summer game, in my opinion.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Plus, you're alone the whole time, man.
Yeah, but that doesn't. You could be alone
And then-
in a
and then you-
sweltering hot desert.
Can we
Great.
spoil that game, or can I not?
Don't,
I'd-
yeah, don't
'Cause I'm
spoil
gonna
it.
get-
I'd-
That's
I'd
one of
say
that's
no,
one of those
'cause
games where even if it's been out a while, who knows?
Journey's
That's
my
a game you
favorite
don't,
games,
you don't want to ruin it for the
you
off chance.
spoiled the game again.
Miguel
I'm just
said it.
saying that's a game where you like, God forbid, someone hasn't played it. You don't want to ruin it for them, just in
It's
case.
me now, dude.
I haven't played it.
Doesn't matter.
You haven't
Exactly.
played it?
I haven't played
Tyler,
One of those
I-
games, I think.
so-
Oh, okay, let me ask you this: are you planning on playing it?
Oh, come on.
I want to play it eventually if I can
You'll
get
play-
around
you'll
to it.
play.
So that's probably.
Miguel just wants. He like lives to spoil it.
Tyler, you're playing it. You're playing it this summer.
That's right.
No, he's playing it in the fall.
Sure, in the desert.
Can Miguel's new name at the beginning of the episode be like the spoiler master or something
Oh,
like that?
I'm into it. That's how. Okay,
Something like
okay.
that, because like he tells you to go play a game and then says, "Oh yeah, but I'm going to ruin it for you now."
Yeah, I'm into it. I vote yes. But yeah, that was pretty much just some shout outs to some good thematic.
Stop.
What do you got?
Have you guys even started? What's the game?
Do you Lost Legacy? Yeah.
The game that I supposedly spoiled like 2 episodes ago.
Life is
Life
Strange.
is Strange. Yeah,
Oh.
Life is Strange.
No, I haven't, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to
Are
get to
you?
it. You know, I've been grinding in Titanfall.
Yeah, you did that in a week, dude. Come on.
You shouldn't
But I'm
spoil.
just saying, like, you know, I was doing that since the last time we talked. Why do you want to spoil
Yeah,
stuff?
you shouldn't
get
You
spoil
might make
Life
this
is
next week's
Strange.
topic is spoiling.
He,
Like
he
spoilers.
won't. He won't. Miguel, you spoil Life is Strange, you're off.
Because
Drop
Life
down.
is Strange is amazing.
Yes, thank you.
He is like a red hot fire burning at him. He just wants to ruin it for me.
Ridiculous.
I will watch.
But yeah, that's pretty much just the games to play.
How long is it to beat Life is Strange? Tell me right now.
Each episode's only maybe about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Looking it up now on how long to beat. How long
It's-
to beat
So
Life
you'll
is Strange?
probably be done with like an 8 to 10 hours.
It's Telltale length. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
you can-
actually
Main
more
story,
to do.
14 hours and 20 minutes. I was gonna say I would just truck through it tomorrow, but if it's 14 hours, I'm not gonna be able to do it tomorrow. So
You can do it, man. You got nothing else to do.
I just do
I did
it.
some fireworks, maybe. No, just go for it. Knock it out. Get
It's
the plan
better.
on
It's
it.
better than fireworks.
Yes, it is much better than fireworks.
yeah, but I just started Fallout 4 again, and I'm playing that.
Fallout 4. What you
Why?
doing with your life, bro?
Fallout 4 is kind of summaries as well.
I mean, Fallout New
Nah,
Vegas is the best Fallout. Just gonna throw that out there.
I was always more of an Elder Scrolls fan, anyways, but I'm giving Fallout 4 another shot because I kind of wrote it off when it came out.
Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. I just wanted to add that as a topic of the week because there's always I always like playing games that like match the current season or theme or like time period, just to like I don't know.
Oh, another one that we forgot.
What?
MLB The Show.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Summer game, boy. Sports
we,
games.
We said that in the patriotic game section.
Hey,
but,
it's in the summer, bro. You just gotta give it a nice
100%.
little shout out.
There really aren't any other summer sports games though, because FIFA comes out in September and Madden comes out in August.
I mean,
yeah.
FIFA.
Show is really the best. The
if you count
boys
Rocket
the
League, I
boys of summer, as they say. But yeah, moving on. Question of the episode. We'll go through this quick. Don't forget, you can join us on the PS Best Friends Facebook group by going to facebook.com/group/PS Best Friends and submit your questions there or a bunch of other ways that we'll say later. But Kira Maharaj, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, pretty much says what we've always been saying about backwards compatibility, how Xbox has it and all that. But he ends it with an interesting point, which is, would you guys be interested in a Game Pass type model on PS4 as opposed to having to pay for all these remasters and remakes? So I think it's an interesting point. What do you guys think about this? Pretty much that rather than having to buy remasters again and remakes, would you guys rather the backwards compatibility or remakes?
I would
Neither.
rather remakes. I had played. Okay, let me tell you a story of last year. I was both playing BioShock 1 on PlayStation Now and Uncharted 3 on PlayStation Now because I had. I bought it when they did the year on sale, like during the holiday season, and I only used it for a month, and I felt really dumb. But pretty much, I I was playing Uncharted 3 and I was playing Bioshock 1, and then I realized like it's just not working for me. So then I literally just went and bought the Uncharted collection, the Nathan Drake collection, and played Uncharted 3 that way. And it was literally, it was like night and day, the difference between playing it on PlayStation Now. And then Bioshock, it was around, I think, when they announced the collection, and I was like, I'll just wait for the collection to come out. So I would rather just updated versions that run well. I would have killed for an updated Mass Effect 1, because it runs a slight bit better on backwards compatibility with Xbox One than the 360 version, but the load times in the elevators are still a nightmare. You can literally go cook dinner and eat it while loading the C-Sec elevator in Mass Effect 1. So, I mean, if I'm all for, I mean, as long as it's priced reasonably, I'm all for these remasters. If people are buying them, do them well, and I'm okay with it. Do them bad, like Arkham Asylum, like the Return to Arkham, then no.
Yeah. Anyone else, Miguel or Taylor, on that topic?
Well, I think if the
Go ahead, Tyler.
yeah, I think if PS Now was more like the Xbox Game Pass, where you could actually download the games, that would be better.
But like more about like the games that you already have. Would you rather be able to play them like the PS3 games you already have? Would you rather be able to play them on your PS4 or
Like put the disc in and play them.
have to pay for an upgraded version?
Oh, well, I wouldn't mind just playing the PS3, like a remaster version, like where they just upgrade the visuals and stuff. I mean, I'm okay with just playing the old version. If it's actually a remake where they actually change stuff, then I would prefer the remake.
Interesting.
Me personally, I don't care for either. If my
Old game is old.
Yeah, if you're gonna play the game, you're gonna play it. You're gonna actually find where the game is and play it there. And if you don't care, you just don't care.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to the PSBF Friends of the Week, Landon Tyler Cook. Landon, so as you've told us before, you were a father, correct?
That is
Say
correct.
you were?
I was. Yep, I
So
was.
what happened?
Father, wow.
What happened?
I am a
Well,
father.
today he said he went to his wife and said, "Honey, I got to be on this podcast. I can't do this anymore."
That's right. We got to send the baby.
Yeah,
we
so-
got to send this baby back.
Send it back where it came from.
They wouldn't take her back.
Congratulations. She's
Congrats, yeah.
10 months. You said.
10 months.
Speaking yet?
She's speaking a little bit, actually. She
What's the
likes.
first word? PlayStation?
No, sadly. She likes to say hi a lot. Or hey.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only thing?
Pretty,
Right now, so
pretty much. I mean, just some gibberish too, like where she's like ba 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 ba, so you can be like, yeah, you're saying bye. You're saying bye.
Or
You get
Papa.
most of it. Yeah, so pretty much a second topic of the episode, kind of. What's it like being a dad and a gamer? How do you balance the two? Do you let her play? Do you let her watch? What's going on?
Generally, I usually don't play when she's awake, just because she's kind of hyper. So it's kind of hard to, it can be hard to concentrate on a game and watch her at the same time. And now she's kind of starting to crawl around and will try to walk some more, so you really kind of have to watch her. So most of my gaming now gets done after she goes to bed.
And is that generally like super late?
Usually around 9 o'clock is when we start trying to put her to bed. And, if it's a good night, usually around 10 o'clock when she gets to bed.
If not midnight.
Yeah, if it's a bad night, then it might be later than that. If I get any gaming done during the day, it's usually just on a handheld.
Yes, like do you play any do the genres of your games have shifted in the past 10 months than like games you used to play?
Or do you think that's more going to come when she gets older and realizes what you're playing? As
Well,
far
no-
as like playing graphic content, anything like that.
Yeah. Or I meant just like games that like don't have saves frequently or things like that. But yeah, answer both.
I mean, I think I've definitely shifted more to like games that you can beat quicker, like not open world games really, and just a few, but mainly games that I feel like I'm actually making progress in. Because if you're only playing like, an hour or two at night or something, like if you're playing a big open world game, you're not gonna feel like you're making any progress.
So you think you're making progress on Dark Souls or Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, I mean those games aren't very long. I mean I've beaten both of those several times, so
Several times.
I can't
Yeah,
even get through Bloodborne, and all I have is cats and a hamster. 2 hamsters.
hit me up and I'll get you through Bloodborne.
I know, between you and Kevin Garaventa, also a friend and former guest, I don't know why. I just like, it's not even that it's too hard for me. It's just like trying to focus on it, and then like I don't know, and then like it
might
doesn't
have to
tell you
give
where to
up.
go, and I'm not giving up on it. I'll beat it in 4 years. But
Yeah, okay.
I had a similar story similar to Brian when I first played it, to Brian Altano. I pretty much hated it when I first played it because I was like, this is dumb, it's too hard. I quit. And then I went back to it and tried it again. I just plowed through and
What clicked on you?
I did a bit more grinding in the beginning. The first when I beat it the first time, I probably grinded like way more than I needed to get past some of the bosses. But I think now that I've gotten used to the game, you can. I don't think you really have to do that anymore. As far as what clicked, I don't know. The game I think just became. I think after you get past like the first area, once the game kind of opens up more, it just becomes more interesting.
yeah, there was actually someone posted on one of the Facebook groups the other day about how the lore in Bloodborne is like one of the most complex stories of any video game, but you have to look for it. It's not going to just tell you up front. Like, the narrative isn't really as much what's interesting as is the actual like lore behind it and like the environmental storytelling and all that.
Oh yeah, because you can go through the whole game without paying any attention to the story.
Yeah, I mean, I got up to Vicar Amelia and I had no idea what the game was even about. So, and then I
Yeah.
started reading into the game. So,
I still don't know what the game is about. I just have fun playing it.
So you enjoyed the gameplay?
Yeah, I enjoy the gameplay. Yeah, because after that, I went back to Dark Souls 3, and like after playing Bloodborne, like Dark Souls 3, it just seemed really easy.
What seemed easy? Dark Souls or
Dark Souls.
well, Dark Souls definitely feels a little like feels tighter. I feel like Bloodborne's very arcadey feeling, whereas like Dark Souls feels very tight and like the controls are very specific and all that.
Yeah, with Dark Souls, I use like a sword and a shield, and Bloodborne, they don't have any shield, so it's all about dodging.
Well, there's that one wooden shield at like the very beginning of the game, but it's trash. So.
It's not. Don't even bother.
So the most important question that I want to ask you with regards to you being a father is, when is your daughter inheriting your Vita?
That'll probably be never, because I no longer have a Vita.
Oh no! Oh no! You might have to fix that.
No,
you might have to
I
cut
played
that out.
I played Persona 4 Golden for a couple years, and then that was it.
That sounds about right. Playing Persona 4 for a couple of years.
A couple years. Yeah,
I'm still on my first playthrough.
I took
I
6
bought
years.
it.
I took 6 years to beat it. It's no big deal.
I think I'm going on 3, and I'm like at the end. So I hear you.
What game
So-
would you even give your infant? What Vita game would you even give to your infant to
Well,
play?
I'm talking when she's older. I'm not talking.
No, I'm,
right now.
I'm even just thinking about it, like a 2 or 3 year old. Like when you give like a baby like an iPad and they play some Angry Birds or whatever. Like, is there any game like that on a Vita? I'm trying to think.
Minecraft.
That's a little complex. I mean, like some like sound shapes maybe,
That
or
game,
like
the
Patapon.
flower game or something. You remember that one?
Flower.
No, it was like you hold it sideways and you tap a bunch. That was an interesting game. I forgot what it's called. Let
I
us
think I know what you're talking about, but I never played it.
Let us know in the on Twitter or on the Facebook group if you remember that game I'm describing.
Well, she likes to chew on my phone a lot, so we're getting there.
She likes to chew on the phone.
She likes to chew on my phone, so
Just either.
just
Is there a case?
no, there's a lot of slobber that gets on my phone, so it's all good.
Delicious.
Yeah, I almost wish I could have gotten a for when she gets older. I wish I could have gotten like a NES Classic.
Well, you got the SNES when it comes out, if you're able to get it.
Arguably
If I'm
has
able to
better
get it,
games
yeah.
on it, to be honest.
Because I've been debating like
So what age?
when she gets older, like if I want to start her on older games or just start her on games that are out now.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
question.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I almost feel like something like. Do you have PSVR or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, were you planning on getting it or no?
Probably not. I mean, maybe if she gets older, but when you have a kid, it's kind of impossible to disengage yourself like that to do something like PSVR.
I guess that's fair. I was just gonna say because like for some reason I don't know why I thought of it, but Playroom VR kind of stood out to me as like a kid-friendly game. Although VR itself on a child might be bad, but I never actually played the Playroom non-VR. So I mean, is it anything like that? Does anyone know? Jeffrey, I know you have PSVR, so is the
what do you mean,
normal
Playroom?
Playroom kind of similar to it?
You mean the regular Playroom or when
Yeah, like
you're
your Playroom non-VR. Is it similar to Playroom VR, just in VR?
It's it does some stuff with the light bar on the what's it called on the controller, but in Playroom VR when you're playing with the people outside of VR is always fun. Maybe she could do that somehow, but I don't know. I don't know, but I'm also thinking about what games you start off on. I feel like I was kind of lucky in that case because my first real games were the Game Boy and then to pretty fast the Game Boy Advance, where I played Super Mario Land, which was pretty much the original Mario platformer. And then when I even got to the Game Boy Advance, I was playing 2D Mario side scrollers with the whole Super Mario Advance line. You know, those are just remakes of old Super Mario games. And I was playing Sonic Advance also, which was pretty much just like better versions of Sonic 1 and 2 and 3. So I think I kind of lucked out on that one, you know, like I did get my early gamer experience, but I'm yeah, so like, would you give her Mario 1 to play first, or would you give her, let's say, what's in 5 years, I don't know, like Mario Odyssey 2 or something, you know?
Well, my first game was actually Super Mario Brothers on the NES and Duck Hunt. I don't remember what age. I'll probably just gauge it by, I mean, as she gets older, I might be able to start playing more in the day. And, you know, if she's interested in what I'm doing, probably gauge it from there.
That's a thing as well I think about. What if my kid isn't into video games?
I'm going to be sad.
Just into sports.
Yeah, right? It's like, of course I'll be supportive, but it's like it's like, oh, like I want to pass it down to someone, you know, like all my gamer shit. But have more kids, I guess, until
There you
one
go.
of them,
Yeah, just
until one of them's a
start
gamer.
making kids, bro. Start making kids.
Just keep going. You'll eventually get it right.
Yeah. You're gonna get at least one of them.
20 years from now, we catch up with Jeffrey and he just has like 16 kids and none of them like video games.
16. I was sure
Like, I just want to give my Vita to someone.
Well, then you won't like video games.
Finally, at long last,
anymore,
donate
because
it to Vita Island.
Yeah.
You won't be able to afford them after 16 kids.
Probably after 2, you're probably screwed.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the case also. Like, the game developers, like, kids aren't, like, as into games. I don't know. I think, like,
I feel like I want to start with older games because I feel like games geared to kids nowadays are kind of dumb.
Yeah, a lot of them are kind of trash. I remember when I was a kid, we had a lot of those stupid fucking... It was actually more my brother because he was 5 years younger than me, but he used to play a lot of those fucking like Elmo games and like Sesame Street games and shit like that. And they were just like so watered down and...
Yeah. Those are for, like, the infant games. I'm saying more of, like, the 5-6-year-old type games. And then it also brings an interesting question. Like, would you start with Ratchet and Clank 1 or Ratchet and Clank 2016, you know?
Well, that you go 2016 because it's just a
2016.
better version of 1. But I see what you're saying. Like if
Are you
if
trying
they
to get
remade
the game
all
history?
4 from the PS2 and you're saying like would you give them Uncharted 1 or Uncharted 4?
Yeah.
Uncharted 4.
It's interesting though. I actually just thinking about it now. I think I thought my first game was a PS1 game, but I think actually my first game ever was. I had the original Game Boy, that giant ass brick with the green screen.
Yeah, I got that.
My
hand-me-down.
first game ever, I think, was the Jungle Book on the original Game Boy.
That's
I couldn't
funny.
for the fucking life of me beat it.
One of my first games were Tarzan for the original Game Boy.
Tarzan.
Yeah.
I fucking love that thing.
No,
Dude.
I think that
I still have
actually
it
might be- I think Tarzan was for the Game Boy Color, and one of my first Game Boy memories were trying to shove in my brother's. I snuck into my brother's room, took his Tarzan for the Game Boy Color, and tried shoving it into my hand-me-down Game Boy Regular. Didn't work. Couldn't play it. Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean Pokemon was of course. I remember the day I got my. They didn't have the Pikachu yellow Game Boy Color, so I had to get just the normal yellow Game Boy Color, which in retrospect I kind of liked more. I kind of liked that it didn't have the decals and shit on it. But I remember getting that and playing yellow version on it very vividly. My first PS1 game. What was my first PS1 game? What's your earliest memories of you guys playing PlayStation?
no, my first PlayStation was going over my neighbor's place, and he had TAC on the PS2. Remember that game? Was it TAC? It was
Back in the Power of Juju. My brother played that.
The Nickelodeon game. And
You never played PS1?
No, I jumped in on PS3. I was a Nintendo
wow.
boy until 2009. Die hard Nintendo fan. I fucking bled Nintendo until 2009.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, so I go over to his house and he's playing this fucking TAC game. I'm like, huh. I guess the GameCube is much better than this piece of shit.
I mean,
Made the right choice. Dumbass playing this fucking
Miguel, what's your
Nickelodeon
first memory of playing a PlayStation game?
So, I remember going to a garage sale and buying a PS1 for $20 with a controller, with 2 controllers, and FIFA 99, I think it was.
Jesus.
And I played the shit of that game, dude. I mean, that's the only game that I had for a while.
Who was your team on FIFA 99?
I don't remember, dude.
Yeah, I think my most vivid memory of PS1 was definitely that demo disc, the one that had it had like 101 Dalmatians on it, or 102 Dalmatians, whichever one it was. It had Metal Gear, like the opening of Metal Gear Solid, where you go up the elevator and then you had to get past the helicopter landing, like the helipad. It had a bunch of shit on it. Like, it was so memorable. I used to play the shit out of that demo disc. And then like Spyro Crash.
Let me ask you guys this. Did you guys ever modded your PS1 or PS2 consoles?
I never did. No.
Yeah, I never modded any of my things.
No.
And, I Game Shark.
I wanted to mod
Game
my
Shark back in
PS2
the
so I
day on
could
the Game
import the final mix of Kingdom Hearts 2, but I never ended up doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I guess on that note, let's start a new segment, which is pretty much where we ask the PS Best Friend of the Week what their either favorite PlayStation game is, or the game that got them into PlayStation. So not into gaming, into PlayStation, or their favorite. Tyler, what do you say?
Well, the first 2 PlayStation 2 games that I got were Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter. So Sly Cooper is probably one of my favorite series, which probably made probably made Sucker Punch one of my favorite developers. So I definitely played a lot of Sly Cooper, and then probably favorite game though is probably the first Infamous game. Like, I played a shit ton of Infamous 1. I probably beat that at least like 10 times.
Infamous 1 is actually the game that got me into PlayStation. It was my first PlayStation 3 game, and that's Infamous 1 means a lot to me.
I love the Infamous 2. I like the changes that they made, but I didn't like that they got a new voice actor for Cole.
Were you expecting for the Infamous Second Son? Were you expecting Cole to pop out somewhere?
Well, I meant Infamous 2.
That's-
Sorry.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
did you
Second
play
Son?
Infamous Second Son?
Yeah, I played Second Son. No,
What do you think?
I didn't. I didn't know what they were gonna do for Second Son. I mean, I just wanted to play a new Infamous game. But
Oh yeah, dude, Second Son was not as sad. It's like I didn't like Delson as much as Cole.
I think before Second Son came out, they announced that it wasn't gonna be Cole because I think they announced that the good ending was the true ending.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, so
I hate when games give you multiple endings and then say, "Oh, well, only one of them was real."
This one's the true ending.
Same with like Force Unleashed 2. I mean, they never made an Unleashed 3 anyways because of the whole Disney buyout, but they were pretty much alluding to the good ending being the true ending.
All right, cool.
All right, Landon, Tyler, Cook, where can people find you?
PSN, it's Cone Radio. It's KONRADIO. And Twitter is also Cone_radio. Because someone took my Cone Radio. So
What's a cone radio?
it's actually a joke from the anime Bleach.
Oh,
So I don't know if if y'all have ever watched that, but
Yeah, I'm not familiar with too much anime, unfortunately. I gotta maybe I'll try a Crunchyroll.
they
trial.
basically had a stuffed animal on there. His name was Cone, and he would give the recaps on the episodes, or like next time on Bleach, and he would say come
Was he like the Teddy of Persona 4 to that show?
Yeah, kind of. He'd basically say coming at you from Cone Radio, so that's where I picked that name up
are
from.
you watching Dragon Ball Super?
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I want to.
Ooh, get on it. It is delicious.
Because I recently,
my recommendation of the week.
just watched
Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball Z again.
So now, do you need to watch older Dragon Ball Z series?
Yeah. For Super,
All of it
watch-
Super's back.
just watch Z. Really, you don't need to watch Dragon Ball. Just watch the main arcs of Dragon Ball Z, which is just Saiyan arc, Frieza arc, Cell arc, and Buu arc, or Saga, I guess they're called, not arcs. And Android Saga, but I always put that part of Cell, but whatever.
I'll say if you can get it, just get Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah, is that better? Do people say that's better?
It cuts out like a lot of the filler.
Yeah,
So-
I guess
so,
true.
You know.
Yeah, I'd probably watch Kai if I was starting again. I haven't watched them in forever though, but they're just so ingrained in my memory because I watched them all as a kid. Like it's
Yeah, see, I watch them, but I kind of passively watch them, so I don't really remember anything that happened, but I know I watched them. You know.
yeah.
This has been the PlayStation Best Friends podcast. For any questions, comments, and concerns, please email us at psbestfriendspod@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at psbfpodcast. You can also join us on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/psbestfriends. You can ask us questions. You can volunteer to come on the episode. As we, have a guest on, try to have one on every week. We're also taking submissions for outro music, so hit us up with that as well if you or anyone you know has a band or you're an artist, anything like that. And Miguel, where can people find you?
People can find me at PSN DarkAngel1010 and at Twitter at AngelAlvarez10.
I also think we should clarify it's a J in your Twitter handle, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you could find me Brawl, as in Super Smash Bros. Brawl96 on PSN, Twitter at Mr. Brawl96, YouTube Mr. Brawl96, Twitch Mr. Brawl96. That's MR Brawl, MRB, no dot or anything like that. Also, I am away from home this week, so I'm using a different mic, so I apologize for any loud P sounds or
Yeah, you're the pop
big
master
noise.
next week.
I'll be the pop master next week.
You're the pop master, and Miguel could be spoiler cast.
Spoiler caster, that's a good one. But yeah, next week I'll have my fluffer, puffer, whatever the fuck it's called.
Pop filter.
Pop filter, yeah. Not the name of the dude who makes sure you're erect during porn sessions.
Jesus Christ.
I think that one's a fluffer.
And we will.
Okay, yeah, we need to end this episode. You can find me at PSN, the only X188. That's ONE for one, and then the numbers 88. And at Twitter at Anthony Palm. And, this has been the PlayStation Best Friends podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Like Jeffrey said, he'll have some better audio quality next time, but we made do.
I mean, it was because I kept on saying the wrong name, and then I learned what it was called. So that's how I know it. All right. It worked the opposite way.
Okay. All right. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Adios.